Hey! Hey, Nick! Why is everyone so quiet? Someone should do something to lighten things up. Okay. Hold it! Old bag, the security lady. Why did the security lady think Power had done it? She said because she saw him going towards the studio. Right. The Steel Samurai. Press harder. Did the detective arrest Mr. Powers based solely on the security lady's words? Perhaps not. She seemed to have given the detective that photograph. Of course, I heard all this after the fact. The photograph, meaning the one taken by the security camera. She's not known for exhibiting the best judgment when it comes to Hammer. I don't think there's anything in there I can use. We gotta get her. You asked to be left out? Yes. It seems that everyone else was questioned, and I'm really not fond of that sort of thing. But you can't just decide who the police will and won't question. Thankfully, the studio thinks otherwise. They were nice enough to understand that since we were in the meeting, there was no way we could have been involved. Thus, they covered us for us. Covered for you. Or covered it up for you. There must have been a lot riding on it, with all the bigwigs at the meeting. I'm sure her professionals helped convince everyone they didn't require questioning. I went back to the trailer to get near. The script note and direction notes? Yes, they're quite valuable. It wouldn't do to have them stolen. No, I guess not. Wait a second. I thought you came to Studio One for rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and notes? Well, I was under the impression that we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything. Why? There was a murder, after all. Who could think of rehearsing after that? Oh yeah, I guess. Very well, Miss Vasquez, please continue. What? Your Honor! I have an objection to the witness's last statement. Huh? Think! Miss Vasquez said she didn't bring her script because there wouldn't be a rehearsal. Don't you see what that means? She would have had to known about the murder before going to Studio One. Ha! Wait, I didn't get that. Order! Order! Mr. Edgeworth! What you have just said is reasonable observation. However, I find it hard to understand why the prosecution would make such a move. Or are you thinking of a career change to defense? I appreciate the concern, Your Honor. I will stand by my statement, however, regardless of how the court sees my role here. Now, Miss Vasquez, do you have an explanation? I can't believe Edgeworth is helping me! So the prosecution in cahoots with the defense. What kind of court is this? No matter. I think you misunderstood me. I had a perfectly good reason to believe there would be no rehearsal. Very well, the witness will change her testimony to reflect this reason. I knew that Mr. Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left them behind. Hold it! How did you know about that injury? How did I know? Sal. He told me. Sal, the director. You have to find something to peg her on here, or everything we've done till now will be wasted. I believe in you, Nick. Go get him! Okay. What do we need to do? I got it! We need to get back there. Present. Objection! You knew that Hammer was injured? Don't you think that's a little funny? I mean, it was the Steel Samurai who was injured. It was Will Powers. What? Mr. Wright, explain yourself! Yes, Mr. Hammer is dragging his leg in this photo. But that's because he was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Pretending? One person who injured in the run-through that morning. That person was Mr. Powers, not Mr. Hammer. Now, why did you think it was Mr. Hammer who was injured? I already said it was Sal who told me. That's right, he must have gotten it wrong. I think not. Mr. Manila was at the run-through that morning. He would have known it was Mr. Powers who was injured. He saw it happen. Why would he tell you the wrong person? Miss Vasquez! You saw... Actually, you didn't hear anything from Mr. Manila. You saw Mr. Hammer limping with your own eyes. Yes, but... Wasn't it Mr. Powers who was injured? Yes, but remember, Mr. Hammer was dragging his leg too. He was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Ah! And when he was doing this... Well, it would have been after he put on the Steel Samurai costume. And went to Studio 2, where he was murdered. Exactly. Miss Vasquez, you met him, didn't you? You saw the Steel Samurai limping. And Mr. Hammer was in that Steel Samurai suit. That's why you were confused. That's why you thought it was Mr. Hammer who had been injured that morning. Order, order, I will have order. Witness. Can you refute this claim? Yeah, let's see you sneak out of this one, Vasquez. Very well. I have a question for you. Why are the real killers always so persistent? Why in the world would I want Mr. Hammer dead? Yes, he'd fallen on hard times, but he was a star. I had nothing to gain from his death. Nothing. Yes, you would need a motive. Why would she have killed the victim? If there is a reason, it is unclear to this court. Does the defense have anything to say on the matter? In other words, can you prove she had a motive? Of course let's see. Of course I can prove it. Okay, I have proof and I'll show it to you. Present the court evidence as Mr. Vasquez. Let's see. Oh, I know. It's gotta be this. Take that! This is my proof. This is the photo from before. This photo reveals the motive in the murder. I'm right, aren't I, Miss Vasquez? 5 years ago, Mr. Hammer was at the height of his fame. With D. Vasquez's help, a terrible accident was swept under the carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, the case currently up for trial, it began on that day 5 years ago. Ironically enough, that accident precipitated Mr. Hammer's fall. His fall from stardom. His guilt weighed him down, no doubt. However, you, D. Vasquez, used Hammer. You made him work for you for petty change. Bringing us to the present day, Mr. Hammer's last role as the evil magister. Yes, undoubtedly it was the constant source of shame for the ex-star. One moment, Mr. Wright. We are talking about motives here, yet you have only talked about Mr. Hammer. It's almost as if it was Mr. Hammer who had killed D. Vasquez and not the other way around. What motive would Mr. Vasquez have? Yes, that's right. According to what you say, I would have had no reason to kill Hammer. He was a good source of income for me. I never get rid of useful men. It's a policy of mine. Mr. Wright, please explain Miss Vasquez's motive for murder.